couple of years ago, these people came in Africa continent. They colonized our forefathers. They took them and they started using them as their slavers. And they were doing this in the meantime to start stealing what belongs to African child. They start imposing their leadership in Africa continent, and they managed to do this for so many years. Because of that, it really helped them to develop their countries. It really helped them to establish their economy. It really helped them to build a lot of manufacturers in their country. But what happened to Africans in the meantime? Of course, Africa remained poor. Africa remained broke. African child was breathing poverty in everything they do. Africa remained without being developed, all because these people, they considered that their life is more better, their life is more important than the one of an African child. They did that after all these years because they know that it was going to work in their advantage, because they know that they will succeed, and they hope that this will continue forever. But God never sleep. Things start changing around, and we are talking here about climate change. Climate change, which is now affecting the entire world, especially the Western country, which I've been referring to here. Guys, why these people, I don't want to mention the names, you know whom I'm talking about, why they want to blame Africans, they want to blame Africa continent for something that they did not even do? Why are them trying to start blackmailing Africans, especially African leaders who are going to attend this climate change summit all over around the world? Why are them trying to threaten them and telling them that, no, look, you are part of this, you have done 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, that's why we are here, and we want to discuss with you all these matters in this video, because you deserve to know the truth. Yes, as an African child, I believe it's very important if we can stand on our own and try to make these people realize that things are no longer the same as they used to be before. We're not going to allow these people to come and continue telling us how to do things in our countries. We're not going to allow these people to come and impose their leadership, their puppet president all over Africa continent. That time is over, because this is a new African generation. This African youth have different way of seeing things, have a different way of understanding what is happening around the world. So these people, they can't go out there damaging up the planet with their chemical manufacturers which they had built over there, and refuse to help Africans all these years, refuse to bring companies and manufacturers in Africa. Now they want to come and involve us in their mess. No, that's something that we're not going to accept as Africans. These people, they'll come in Africa, they'll steal African mineral. They'll take those minerals just as it is. They never want to produce those minerals to transform it into whatsoever they want to use it for in Africa continent. They'll take these minerals, they'll go with it to their countries. If you ask, why are you taking African mineral, yet you're not able to build whatsoever manufacturers that you are having in your country here, right here in Africa continent, so that whenever Africans, they give you these minerals, then they will transfer it, they will transform it and give it to you as what you need. Well, obviously they did that because they want to have more jobs in their countries, because they are fighting against unemployment in their countries. Yet, the manufacturers that they're supposed to be building in Africa, where they are collecting all this natural mineral resource, they don't build those manufacturers in Africa. Instead, what they prefer to do is to go with these minerals in their countries. Once they bring it in their countries, then they'll hire more people who will have to work in their manufacturers. And then, now that things are changing around, the global warming, which the climate change is happening everywhere, things are not sitting properly, they want now to come and involve Africans, because It is only Africa which remain pure or virgin when it comes to these things. Africans, our land is still fragile. Africans' soil or forest is still there. We are now a solution to this climate change. And now they look around among themselves, from Australia to Canada, Canada to British. There is no any hope. They could not get or found the solution which they've been looking for in order for the world to survive against these climate changes. They need Africa continent. Now they are coming in Africa instead of even negotiating in a very good way, in a very good manner against the Africans to make them understand how important this is to them. They are coming with in a very disrespectful way, in a very disrespectful manners to address these matters to Africans, because they still believe that Africa is still the same as the one before. So they are coming to start imposing things on Africans, to tell them how to do things and how to not do things. For an example, in order for them to be safe, they don't want Africa to use its own natural resources. They don't want Africa to cut the trees which are found in forest, the trees that can help Africans also to increase their economy. They don't want Africans to touch that. They went in South Africa telling the South African government that they should not touch the coal. This same coal, they want South Africa to sponsor it to them, to Germany, so that it will do the same thing that they are busy asking the government of South Africa to not use it for. See how disrespectful these people they are. They are not even coming in Africa to say that, okay, since you guys, you are behind to develop, we are here now, we can maybe help you with 1, 2, 3 to develop your country, but please, we are begging of you to not use your natural resource because it is our last hope. They are not doing that. They are coming trying to impose things on Africans, and that is why I said, guys, we are at war. Yes, you heard me correct. This is an open war against Africa continent with the Western countries. These people, they still believe that they can come in Africa and do whatsoever pleases them. They've been looting Africa for all these years. They never built the companies in Africa. When we are talking about having a high number of unemployment in Africa continent, it is because of them. They are supposed to be opening companies in Africa, manufacturers, which produce all these things. They're supposed to be doing it in Africa, but what do? They don't do it that. They'll go to the DR Congo, collecting the coltan there just the way it is, and they'll bring it in their country in order for them to transform it. How will the Congolese government be able to provide jobs for their people if things that's supposed to be providing the job in that country, they collect it, they collect all the mineral resource just as it is, and when they produce it in their countries? Okay, fine. Now that the problem is on the table, and you end up realizing that Africa, it is that one kidney that the world needs in order for them in order for them to survive. Remember, a human body have 2 kidneys. If one is down, you are remain with one. And that one, you must make sure that you look after it. You have to listen to each and every details that doctor will tell you in order for you to survive. If you don't treat it properly, then your days are numbered. And that is Africa. That one and only kidney the world needs to survive. But guys, you're supposed to be treating it well. You're supposed to treat Africa well so that you'll survive. You're not going to treat Africa well by you coming and threatening African, telling them that no, you can't use your diamond, you can't use this and that, you can't do for what reason? Recently, I was following up more closely to climate change summit which took place in Nairobi. I could see some of African leaders who are speaking now our language. Some of African leaders who have understand that our people need us to stand against this Western power. Our people need us to do what they want. And I could see how presidents of Africa continent, they were busy engaging, telling this West the truth. For an example, I know someone who even went far saying that, no, before you guys come here and tell us, no, we should not stop, we should stop using 1, 2, 3 as African mineral resource, then we want each and every country out there, every company out there, especially in the Western countries, to start contributing, giving a serious donation, which it is out of your tax. They even went for it, they said, Adidas, Puma, Lacoste, Nike, all these clothing, shoes, logos, as you know them out there in their numbers, they should start also paying an extra tax money, which will have to go and help African countries, because now Africa continent, we are the solution to this climate change. And some people are criticizing the woman who says so. Why did she say that? Blah, 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 blah. Then she had to come and clarify everything. And she said, no, guys, these companies that I mentioned, all of them, they use clothes. Yes, they produce clothes, shoes, and all those things that they produce in their manufacturers. Because those things they are using a serious chemical in those, in order for them to produce clothes or shoes, they need to use a serious chemical, and it is because of this chemical that the world has become what it is today. So therefore, these people, they should, beside their taxes, because whenever they are paying tax, this tax does not go to African countries. This tax goes to their countries, and their countries, the economy become even more powerful. So Africa, we are not benefiting anything from all this. Now, there is a way that Africans can also accept what you guys are trying to tell us to do. You need to start paying for that. Yes, for an example, Nike, Adidas, they should start paying tax. Besides their tax, they should pay an extra money to African countries, because materials that they are using to make clothes, it comes from Africa. And they're the one who are damaging this world planet, climate. They're the one who are changing it each and every time, because there are companies that are using a serious chemical which are poison to the world, to the nature actually. Now, does that make sense? When you listen to what she said, of course it makes sense. Because this is about time Africa will start developing. This is about time we start building our beautiful continent. This is about time we start doing things in a different way. This is about time Africa starts standing up and start becoming like a Europe, like America. Now, when it is about time to do all this, these people that are showing us up, telling us that, no, don't cut the tree in your bush, don't take your coal and use it against you. Today, we're having load shedding in South Africa while we have a lot of coal. Does that make sense? Because they have to come and tell you that, no, don't sell your coal to anyone, or don't use it in your own country. That does not make sense. Besides that, they've been going all over in Africa and telling these African leaders to not do one, two, three, it's like us, we are just stupid or what. So I believe they have to pay something in exchange. And that's how things are going to happen. If they pay something in exchange, well, we'll understand. But if they don't pay anything, Africa, we already have our plan. And our plan is to make sure that we develop this continent. And we are going to do so. Regardless whether they like it or not, Africa, we are going to do that. Because we believe that it is about our time to do things in a different way. We can't just be sitting there when we have everything. When we are so rich in natural resources, we are so rich in everything in the world, but yet we are always be the last one to survive in this world. That is something that we need to fight against. That is something that we're not going to allow, because it's not benefiting us from anything. Actually, we need to at least try to do things in a different way, because these people have to understand that Africa is not the same as the one they had colonized before. Africa is a different one, and we are going to do things in a different ways. Like it or not, that's how it's going to happen. So they can come and try to tell us about this natural resource that is saving the world, or Africans should not do 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, as long as they don't negotiate with Africans, as long as they are not willing to do 1, 2, 3 things that Africans we've been asking them, well, they will be wasting their time, because we're not going to pay attention to them, because we're not going to listen to them, because we're not going to let them continue doing whatsoever they've been doing in Africa. So it's about time we do things in a different way. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It was very important that we engage ourselves in a conversation with you, discussing about these matters. Yes, this is a new year, and things are going to be done in a different ways. And very soon we'll be going back in our studio, so that we keep on informing you and giving you our analysis. Stay tuned for our next video, but don't leave without you liking this video. Give us your thumbs up. We'll really do appreciate. If you wish to hear from us in the future again, well, you just have to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We'll really do appreciate that, so that whenever we're live, then you'll be able to get a notification. We really do appreciate you again for everything, but for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.